Chocolate chip. Hey. Give him the love.
Live from Command Center Alpha.
Throw that down. Put that right there. Let's wake up.
Podcast now. Here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Jason Joe, a.k.a. Flametown, and Gretchen.
Yoo-hoo!
Hey everyone, welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! My name is Midnight Mike, and Gretchen is over there.
Go back to work.
I just came from work. That intro is wrong. It said that Captain Flavorton is here.
Yeah, Captain Flavorton, a.k.a. Joe, a.k.a. Blowhard, is...
Blowhard now?
Well, back in the day, for all of our long-time listeners, he was at one point in time called Blowhard. He even had his own theme music and everything.
What?
Yeah, he had his own his own intro theme music. This is it right here.
Blowhard.
Did he do his own voiceover there?
No, he didn't. No, he didn't. And even we got a voiceover of him.
Blowhard.
Of our Asian voiceover artist saying Blowhard. So.
Blowhard.
Pretty racist.
But
making him say L's and R's.
yeah. But Joe's not here. But he did leave us a voicemail. He loves to call in. He loves to leave voicemails for us to keep us up to date on all his whereabouts. So this is the latest one. Here we go.
Hey, this is Captain Joe from the OurBigDumbmouth podcast. Currently, I'm in China because I am accompanying Henry Kissinger while he meets with a bunch of Chinese generals about the South China Sea. Okay? Kissinger probably flew all the way to China at the age of 100 just to talk about the South China Sea. He could have done that over Skype. Kissinger and the Chinas are probably talking about UFOs. If anyone knows about the true nature of UFOs, it's all HK. The cybergoth revolution is starting in China. And I am starting it. Remember, we were.
Phone's bad.
Did his phone blow up?
Yeah, the phone blew up.
You know, people have gotten so used to Joe leaving these long, complicated, mysterious voicemails where he inevitably strokes out and then gives away the secrets of the universe in foreign tongues. It's going to be a bit disappointing when he comes back and doesn't do that live.
Yeah, people are going to be taken aback by his in-person voice, what he really sounds like, how he pronounces things, how he constructs sentences, and is not so concerned about cyber goth dancing. But, breaking your leg makes you do crazy things.
I thought he broke his foot. Now it's a leg?
What's the
difference between a foot and a leg?
Foot bone is connected to the leg bone. I know that much. And the leg bone's
There's
connected.
an ankle in there.
Yeah. I know all my anatomy from rhymes like that.
Same thing they learned in med school.
Yeah. We're different. Boy, people, it is Wednesday. It is.
Does that mean yes?
It is. Didn't forget it this week. I forget. Last week, we started the whole Ding Dong show, and about halfway through, that's when we hit Alex Jones Clips of the Week. I'm sure people were out there freaking out, not knowing what the heck was going out.
Freaked out.
But no. Everyone, be calm. We have Alex Jones Clips of the Week.
That was a true freak out.
That was a big time freak out over there. With Alex Jones Clips of the Week, we're starting all the way. I think last Thursday. Here we go.
He's a homosexual sex operative. I do not study the jock size of LeBron James. I love the devil. I love to kill babies. I think you're a gorilla. I think you're a storm cloud. I'm going to call Mike today. and say, what is the meaning of this? Mike's a really smart guy. Or I think you're an elf. Please get it off the screen before I throw up. There, we're going to reconnect to you. You have a little bit of Skype problems. Let's disconnect. Let's reconnect.
I didn't know Alex Jones was going to be calling me, but I guess he will be.
Today.
He's supposed to call me.
I like his, I think you're elf.
Or storm cloud.
What was the context there? Was he just talking about stuff?
I don't know. I didn't get a chance. I listened to Alex Jones for the first time in a long time. I think yesterday, in between me reviewing Royal Rumble and Survivor Series from the late '80s, just
for fun.
That's primarily where I'm getting my news from. Is from reruns from Royal Rumble and Survivor Series. But I mean, I tuned in a little bit. He's full of piss and vinegar, and here's Friday. Here we go.
Hey, guys, bring the painting in here Glenn Beck gave me. It's on top of the safe out there, the gun safe. Thank you. Lost my virginity at 12, was extremely promiscuous by 13, and most guys would go, man, that guy's a stud. I mean, I was 14 dating college girls. I'm a woman now. Hey, let me have your kids. Let me cut their penises off. I've got to have that right now. It's called a coup d'etat, which is French for coup d'etat. That girl's 15. She's a slut. I'm going to try to get in bed with her. You wonder why he's so fat. It's because he ate so many people's freedom. He's a man.
Also, is he kind of changing the history here? Because I thought when he was 16, he was dating college girls. Now he's 14.
Just listen to this.
My libido's better than when I was 16 years old.
So, I mean, that would assume that when he's at 16, his libido was off the charts.
And I was a badass at 15.
He was badass at 15.
Do you have the one where he says at 16 he was dating college girls or something? It was from years ago.
Maybe.
So I jerk off in front of 14-year-olds.
Nah, that's not the clip.
No, that was not it.
That's not it. Let's see here. Let me search for Alex. And you say he's 16?
I thought I said 60. Maybe Alex in college or something.
Alex College. Let's see what Alex College brings back. Here's the Alex College rant. Let's see what he says here.
No! Get out! Shut up! Ban it out of it! Please! Please! Ban it! I'm scared!
Yes. That was it. That's the one I was thinking of.
That's the one? No, that was from 2015. So I'll try to find the one you're talking about.
All right. I swear I said 16 and now he says 14. So he's changing it up. Soon it'll be 12, then 10, and 8, and 6.
Like Paul Bunyan. You know, he's got to spin some tall tales.
But he's going the wrong direction.
Yeah, I was having sex at 8 years old.
Ew.
I mean, I was living like a man by the time I was 12.
I had a job paying taxes, putting hours a day.
I was a contractor.
Digging holes.
I was a contractor.
As a general contractor when I was 13. Had my forklift license at 12.
Here's Monday. Here we go.
I'm just like this pepper addict. And I ate a whole plate of jalapenos and then two big old giant serranos and a bunch of other stuff. So I'm having a little bit of explosive, what do you call that, where the acid comes up your throat. I'm willing to pay you money right now to get pregnant with me. We'll artificially inseminate. You don't even have sex with me. Man, I basically drank hot sauce at lunch. Trump is super hardcore. Who's the GOAT? World War III's good.
It's so good.
He's just all over the place there.
Yeah.
I was eating jalapenos during the break.
He loves his jalapenos. There's no doubt about that. Yeah.
I eat a lot of, chicken fried steaks and all the rest of it.
You do.
I was eating during the break.
Man.
I was eating a Reuben sandwich during the break.
He likes it all. All right, he's Tuesday.
I also like that previous one we heard of him asking people to go get the painting from his office.
That Glenn Beck gave him.
Yeah, it's very specific instructions there, kind of like when he wanted that big jar of Lysol.
Oh, yeah, he wanted the jar of Lysol because someone destroyed the bathroom. That's what I got out of it, right?
In my bathroom, there's a big bottle of Lysol. Will somebody run in there and get that for me?
Yeah, that one.
And while you're out, get that painting from Glenn.
Yeah. I could use Lysol in a painting.
Bring me all my favorite things.
Here's Tuesday.
Absolute total crap. Get his penis cut off just to make the point. Wow. Yeah. That's dedication. Kidnap a girl out of her backyard and rape her and then cut her heart out and deliver it to her mom. Obama's brother tweets he's definitely gay after former president defends school porn books. This is a very hardcore, serious group. You don't want triple X child porn in your school? The FBI is coming after you.
And by the way, Twitter, because it reduced its API count, Streamlabs didn't send out a tweet to let people know on Twitter that we're live on Rumble and Twitch.
I didn't know it ever did that.
Yeah, it did. It used to automatically do that. Maybe during like our next break, I'll hop over on Twitter and say, hey, we're live. We're live over here. In fact, why don't I do that right now? What's our...
Yeah, just stop the show real quick.
Stop the show, everyone.
Make sure you tweet at Hulk Hogan about it.
Yeah, let's see here. Let's see, can I do that? No, I don't even know. I don't think I can. Wednesday, here we go. This is a big one. This is the big boy.
All right, I said I'd take your calls. I said I'd cover the news. Why did I go off into bull riding and French bulldogs and all the rest of it? Donald Trump is screwing kids. I actually think that's true. He loves to suck his own children dry. I want a woman, the big thing, the big one, with the big hips, the big breasts, the big hair, the big lips, the big eyes, the big, big, big. I'm going to have sex with it inside the Senate building. I actually think that's true. He loves to suck his own sexy. Those are demons. Those are monsters. We are barbarian stock that'll cut your head off, scoop your brain out and eat it, and use your skull as a wine glass. What a ridiculous name for a dog. Look at that. Wow, that was an incredible caller. Never heard from that guy before. Wow. Man, that was amazing. Oh. Yeah, I'm not mad at you, but I appreciate your call. Thank you, Mike.
You're welcome. All right. There we go. There's just a lot of information to digest there. He said a lot of different things. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure what he was saying, but it's amazing stuff.
Amazing caller.
Yeah.
Yeah, where's the way? I don't know what you're saying. Or saying
Okay, thank you for your call.
Where is it?
Not that one.
Not that one. Is it? It should be in rotation. Yeah.
Very interesting things you're saying. I'm not going to be dishonest. I'm not understanding what you're saying.
Yep. Yep. We'll transition on and talk about some current events and news. So starting next Wednesday, I will be time anomalies. Weird time anomalies that can be slips in time, people who experience some sort of either they walk through a portal and they find themselves like in a different era, or people who go missing and maybe are found again in a weird location. Some of these may be UFO related. Some are maybe just dimensional portals. Who knows? But next Wednesday, I'll be covering a few of those stories, and probably every subsequent Wednesday after that, I'll be just kind of touching on time anomalies and not necessarily anything specifically UFO related, but just weird paranormal stuff like that. And for people wondering, as I know you are,
I'm wondering.
Why hasn't Mike been covering Skinwalker Ranch?
Yes.
It's because I would say that a good chunk of the episodes have been missing the mark.
No.
I know. I don't want to say it. But they haven't been to a very high standard of interest for me. It would literally probably be, if I had to cover every episode, I would say 5 minutes worth of your time. And I'd rather just consolidate it into like a 20-minute segment, kind of go over some of the stuff that they have discovered, possibly, and what they've experienced within the past 5 episodes. And I think the one that's currently out, the episode that's currently out, may be the last one of the season, and maybe one of the more interesting ones. So on Saturday, I'll cover that stuff.
Can I make a quick suggestion?
Sure.
You could cover the episodes that weren't, so the ones that were missing the mark, you could cover those right either before or after your time anomaly segments. Mm-hmm. That way, our listeners would be able to experience missing time that they'll never get back.
Like the Skinwalker Ranch segment is so boring, so mundane. They'll black out, and then they'll come to once another segment starts.
Yep. They'll be like, what, the show's over already? What happened?
That's right.
Also, I do have a request. Can you, for me, can you, on Wednesday, when you cover that, can you go back and cover the guy who lost 14 seconds at Skinwalker Ranch?
Well, that's not going to be part of the segment.
Damn it. I'll cover it.
You can cover it, and you can keep bringing it up.
I'm going to go back and get a clip of our show discussing that, and I'm going to play that clip as if it's a new clip.
You can do that. That's fine. You can submit that clip. I don't know why that hasn't been brought up again to Travis Taylor of Skinwalker Ranch, but we can talk about that on the next show when I cover Skinwalker Ranch. So you can really beat that into the ground.
I'm just saying, how much time did they get out of their show for that one guy who lost 14 seconds?
Well, they didn't cover that aspect on the show. That was covered in an interview that Travis did with Richard Dolan on Richard Dolan's podcast. They never covered that missing 14 segment. It was on a podcast. That's it. It was never brought up on the show, and it was never expanded out on the show for a half hour of mystery. You know.
Do you think maybe they actually raised that as a possibility, and the producers are like, we're not going to cover that.
I think so, but then someone said we found the footage. I think that's what happened. Is like, I think we miscalculated or we misread the timestamp, the time code, and we found those missing 14 seconds. So,
do you want them back?
Yeah, that's what I think happened. There are weird time anomalies going on at the ranch, but they have a range of 0 to 1 second of missing time or time dilation within certain instruments at certain locations on the ranch. Not 14 seconds. That's quite dramatic. But we'll cover that on Saturday, and I can tell Kretsch is all riled up about it. He's all jazzed up about it. He's all riled up about it. We're going to cover some headlines.
I like the time stuff.
I'm all riled up.
Thank you, Lindsey Graham. I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I like time stuff, and I like dimensional stuff. I think those are two intriguing, and they often work together. They come up a lot. So I'm not going to say I'm 100% on board with that stuff, but I think that is an intriguing general theory to present, regardless of the scenario. It's just kind of good stuff. So
yeah, I think they're interesting theories, especially with everything that's going on in the world today. Why not? Let's just talk about time anomalies. We'll do that next Wednesday. Skinwalker Ranch, probably not so much, but you never know. You never know. Okay. This is what I got on board for us. So, as Joe mentioned in his voicemail, he's really concerned about Henry Kissinger and what he's doing over there in China. And so I'll play a little bit of this video clip here so we all can enjoy this together and gaze at the majesty and beauty of Henry Kissinger, who just so happens to be 100 years old. And this trip is so important. He couldn't do it over email, Zoom, Skype. He had to go in person to do this for whatever reason. Let me make sure I get my show leveler up here because the audio, as always, is fairly low quality. So I'll bring this up. Here we go. Bada bing, bada boom. Close that. Punch that. And then we got to flip it up, smack it, rub it down. Here we go.
So one diplomat is missing a lot of action, but a former diplomat is in the thick of it. And that too, at the age of 100. I'm talking about this man, Henry Kissinger. He's a former Secretary of State.
Yes.
He arrived in Beijing on Tuesday to meet Chinese officials. Many people were confused at first. They couldn't believe Kissinger was still alive. Look at what Chinese social media users were writing about this. Is this the Kissinger from the history books? I thought he was dead because people in the history books are. Well, to answer their question, yes, this is the Kissinger from China's history books. I wouldn't bet on their accuracy, though. Kissinger played a key role in establishing relations between the US and Communist China. Until the 1970s, none existed between the US and China. The US only recognized the regime in Taiwan. But in 1971, Henry Kissinger flew to Beijing. This was a top secret visit. He met with senior Chinese officials there. He also managed to
Nixon
get
right there.
an invite for US
That's not
President
Kissinger, that's
Richard
Nixon.
Nixon.
There we go.
The next year, in 1972, Nixon traveled to Beijing, and that's how the US and Communist China established relations. Now back to the present.
Sexy relations.
Kissinger had two important meetings in Beijing, one with Defense Minister Li Shangfu and the second with top diplomat Wang Yi. Now, since the foreign minister was missing, Kissinger was spared a third one. He's not in Beijing on any official mission, apparently.
Yeah.
He's there
They're
as a
just giving him
private citizen,
shit.
and the US has a history of doing this.
So he's not like. So I tried to look and see who sent Henry Kissinger to China, and I can't find any directive. Like, I don't. There's no official statement that I can find. Maybe you can find it out there of who ordered Henry Kissinger at the age of 100 to fly to China to talk to members of the Chinese military.
Do you think he flew himself? Like he
Oh,
was
he's
a pilot of plane.
he's
He
a
just went out,
top-notch pilot.
He hopped the fence, went out there, grabbed a plane. Was like, I'm going to China.
It's possible. They're not saying a lot about the trip other than he made it there. Who delivered him there? I looked in the Washington Post. I looked at mainstream articles that were writing about this, and I can't find like who ordered him to go, or he's just doing it out of the goodness of his heart at age 100.
Let me raise another possibility. Did he go over at the invitation of China?
That's possible. We do know that Henry Kissinger has been fairly outspoken about the Ukraine conflict and that he's not in favor of it. He doesn't like big, giant wars. Henry Kissinger, and correct me if I'm wrong, his doctrine, going back to even Vietnam, he wants small, relatively small, like conflicts all across the globe so things do not spiral out of control into like a World War III scenario. So what he feels is going on in Ukraine could easily spin out of control, so he's not in favor of it. He likes when these conflicts go on basically in third world countries and a major superpower is not directly involved unless it's the United States.
Yeah, it was famously known as the triangle theory, if I recall. You get multiple parties kind of poking at each other through an intermediary, and it, to your point, it kind of spreads the love a little bit so they're not all focused on one thing. Whereas Biden and his team of millennials is just like, let's see if we can keep poking Russia till they just literally start a war.
Yeah, so like him or hate him, Henry Kissinger he's not a big fan of big conflicts that would spiral into World War III. So maybe he's there in China to defuse situations or to apply pressure on China or in order to have China talk to Russia to defuse that situation.
That would be my thought, is he wants them to kind of get involved in one way or another with Russia a little bit to maybe they could cool some tempers.
It's possible.
Alternatively, we could just have the Nazis in Ukraine and knock it off. But by the way, before you get too far afield, can you go back to the beginning of that clip? Did she really refer to Kissinger as a dude?
Yeah, she's being pretty flippant, and especially about how she's reporting the Chinese social media reacting to Henry Kissinger. But I'll reply. I'll
It's only
rewind
the
back.
first 5 or 10 seconds.
But a former diplomat is
Here we go.
So one diplomat is missing a lot of action, but a former diplomat is in the thick of it. And that too at the age of 100.
Oh, that too at the age of 100.
At the age of 100.
I
Okay.
thought you said, and that dude at the age of 100.
No, that dude. I mean, that'd be funny, but she is a professional.
China was stonewalling the Americans. Washington kept trying to engage, but Beijing refused. Could Kissinger be trying to break this deadlock? Despite his age, he is the man for the job. The Chinese regime holds Kissinger in high regard. Look at these articles
So I think
by
China
the
invited
state
him
media.
over.
It's possible.
Kissinger's pragmatism and rationality are what US lacks most today.
Yeah.
At 100, Kissinger still razor sharp on China-US relations. This is what the Chinese press is saying, the state mouthpieces. China-US need a
State
Kissinger
mouthpieces.
now more than 50 years ago.
Maybe he's looking for some sort of political asylum.
Well, when they find that hard drive, I'm going to need a place to hide.
Yeah, he's like, I want to live up my retirement in the last years of my life somewhere where I'm not going to be blown up. Applying pressure on Russia through China, one reason, maybe South China Sea, maybe there is a lot more tensions there than we are seeing. Or then the far out wacky thing is that this is 1 week before the UAP committee hears from whistleblowers, and that Henry Kissinger had to go over there in person. You can't transmit this over the internet or Zoom.
Interesting. Okay.
To give them a heads up that we are going to disclose certain things about UAPs, and this may make it over to you guys. And so in doing so, when we are disclosing that we have reverse engineered certain laser technology, we're going to be mentioning China in the same testimony. So heads up.
That's I do like that one. I was going to suggest, because we've heard this a number of times from the high ranking CCP members who are getting organ transplants, and he went over there to like get a fresh liver or something.
That could be too. I mean,
I like your UFO theory better, but
because a lot of the so-called testimony, and I'm up in the air about the UAP thing. I'll play some clips from that. But a lot of the leaks or the whistleblowers have mentioned China reverse engineering certain aspects of UFOs, mostly around lasers and mining. So they're able to recreate some advanced laser for use of mining, and that's a fairly significant thing, I guess. So if anybody has knowledge on UFOs, I would say Henry Kissinger, at the age of 100, has been around a long time, as deep state as you could get. He probably has some clue about the UFO phenomenon, I would imagine.
Do you think maybe he was using the cocoon method to stay alive this long? He's got like a bunch of alien cocoons in his swimming pool.
I would like that. I would like to think that that's a thing that he's doing. I mean, he's still hobbling around at the age of 100, so whatever he's doing it right. So maybe he is sucking the energy life force out of cocoons in some old guy's swimming pool. Mm-hmm. Brian Dennehy, probably.
And Wilford Brimley.
Could you please bring up a GIF of Brian Dennehy, please? Put him on screen.
Do you want Brian Dennehy from Cocoon or just random? Here you go.
Preferably
Here's Brian
Cocoon.
Dennehy, the alien confused by a cat.
I think that's from Cocoon 2.
Oh.
I think. I just watched Cocoon the other night. Marvelous movie, feel-good movie. And maybe kind of on the mark. But there you go. There is your fun Henry Kissinger news. We'll move on to some other topics, please. Yes, huh?
Hey, man.
Here he is punching Cuba Gooding Jr.
Why would he punch Cuba Gooding Jr. like that? That's a hell of a punch. What movie is that from?
I want to say this is from Gladiator or something. Do you remember that one? Wasn't that Cuba Gooding Jr.? Way back in the early 90s?
I don't know, but I mean, Brian Dennehy, he's a big dude. Is he alive still?
Is Brian Dennehy alive?
No.
No.
Okay. I don't know.
He died early days of COVID. I don't know. Was it COVID? Let's find out.
Yes.
Said he had infection of the blood, but
okay.
They probably marked it down as COVID.
He had bad blood. Got to get some leeches on that thing.
Yeah, they're like, put more leeches on.
You don't have enough leeches, Brian Dennehy. You should be walking around with a pocket full of those things if you got bad blood.
Well, they all dried out. He just had a pocket. He was famously known for having pockets of leeches.
Don't put your pretzels and leeches in the same pocket. The salt will dry out your leeches.
You walk up to shake his hand, he'd be like, hold on, let me wipe these leeches off my hand real quick. It's gross.
So we're talking about UFOs a little bit, and here is Kirby talking about UAP. So this is at a press conference. We'll bring his mug up on screen right here, and here is John Kirby taking questions about UAPs and everything that's going on there. Here we go.
Which is UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomena.
Yes,
there is
I know what
going
that
to be
is.
a House Oversight Committee hearing at the end of this month. Senator Schumer has put forth an amendment to the NDAA that is modeled after the JFK Assassination Records Collection Act. What level of transparency does the Biden administration believe that the American public deserves and should have as it relates to UAPs?
Well, without speaking to proposed legislation, I won't do that. As you know, the Pentagon has stood up an entire organization to help collate and coordinate the reporting and analysis of sightings of UAP across the military. Before that, there wasn't really a coordinated, integrated effort to do that. And of course, we will always want to be as transparent with members of Congress and with the American people as we can, considering national security concerns.
This used to get laughed at for quite some time, for years and
What
decades.
gets laughed at?
The idea of Congress taking this up. I mean, Gerald Ford talked about this as a congressman back in 1966.
No, that's not what people were laughing at. This was in the news media and everything. Anytime UFOs was brought up, even as early as the mid-'90s, late '90s, I would say even going up in 2010, it was laughed at by the news media, and even members of the government laughed at the topic.
They still do it on occasion. A couple of them still like kind of chuckle a little bit when they mention it.
Oh, they'll laugh at the alien abduction phenomenon. That's next, people. Like everything that's going on is super surface level, and they'll still laugh at this shit if it's not a pre-approved story. I'll continue on with Kirby here.
And here we are, what is that, 60 years later, give or take. Is this a legitimate issue? Does the administration believe that getting to the bottom of these sightings in the air, is it a real concern? Is it a real legitimate issue as you see it?
Yeah. I mean, we wouldn't have stood up an organization at the Pentagon to analyze and try to collect and coordinate the way these sightings are reported if we didn't take it seriously. Of course we do. I mean, some of these phenomena we know have already had an impact on our training ranges. For when pilots are out trying to do training in the air and they see these things, they're not sure what they are, and it can have an impact on their ability to perfect their skills. So it already had an impact here, and we just want to better understand it. Now, we're not saying what they are or what they're not. We're saying that there's something our pilots are seeing. We're saying it has had an effect on some of our training operations, and so we want to get to the bottom of it. We want to understand it better. So, yes.
Do you believe these whistleblowers that have come forward?
I'm not going to talk about individual whistleblowers.
I'm not going to talk about individual whistleblowers. Okay.
What happened there at the end?
This is a supercut of news coverage from...
That's their transition sound?
Yes. Awful sounds. Awful sounds. Awful sounds.
Relax.
Yeah, that'd be a better one. Just drop that in between every break.
So this whole UAP committee that's going on next week, there's three major people, whistleblowers, that are talking. And it's that new guy, Grouch, the guy with top security clearance who worked in the White House, who he heard things from other people. He doesn't have firsthand accounts. He doesn't have he hasn't seen a UFO. He's just heard things that other people have seen. He's testifying. Then we have David Fravor, the pilot, and there's one other guy. So there's no new information. Not that I've seen. Not that they're leaving people off the list for their own safety. So there's no new information, and apparently everyone that is going to be testifying, they have a level of security clearance to where their mission statement is to not reveal too much that would threaten national security. So they're inside men, and this has created quite the division in the UFO community. There is the George Knapp and Jeremy Corbell side of stuff, where they're really championing these overtures by the Congress and the government in general to be more open about UAPs. They're really gung-ho about Chuck Schumer introducing legislation for UAP transparency. And then you have the other side where it seems like it's all a dog and pony show to shut people up, and they're giving people just enough to delay whatever information that they have and or to position this entire phenomenon as a threat. So it requires more money, more military buildup, and it is a bottlenecking of information. And it's being positioned by ex-military people. Now, you don't have whistleblowers that I've seen, like like one of the military guys that you would want to have testify. Some of the guys that worked at the missile silos who've been on record and said that UFOs have come down and disarmed,
turned off their shit,
turned off everything. So if we were fired upon by Russia, there's no way we could return back. We couldn't. And so that person's not testifying. Why is that? You would imagine that would be prime in order to show that whatever's going on is a threat to our national security because they're able to turn off all of our gizmos that we really need. We need those gizmos.
I need those gizmos. I'm using that.
But no, that's not happening. So here's just a little article about what may be going on. So this is from the debrief.org. The same people that I think first published the Grouch whistleblower. And by the way, the Grouch whistleblower, when he was on, I think he was on a lot of different news stations giving interviews about all the things that he heard. Someone did some body language reading on him.
Uh-oh.
And according to some body language experts, this guy was really searching for an answer. He didn't know it verbatim, and his body language indicated that he was concealing stuff, and he wasn't being completely truthful.
It's not what you want in a whistleblower.
Typically not. And I'm guessing because of his security clearance, yeah, he might be guarded with his answers. He obviously has access to national security secrets, but in relation to UAPs, UFOs, who knows? Maybe he's holding some stuff back or telling some fibs. We don't know.
Well, to your point about the earlier comment with the guys in the missile silos, maybe there's things like that he doesn't want to bring up because that's the sort of shit that'll get him in trouble. Whereas being a little vague about things he heard third parties, because he is a third party, things he heard
fourth
parties, seventh parties. But
maybe
people who were the second or fourth party, people who are actual witnesses to these things that are telling him, those he can be a little more open about because it wasn't him. Whereas if he has direct knowledge of things that affected potentially national alert readiness and things like that maybe he's trying to stay away from that. I don't know, just throwing that out there.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's pretty dicey. His career's on the line, and
Andrew Dicey Clay.
So here's the headline here from the debrief. The Empire Strikes Back. Would-be UAP whistleblowers offer dire warning from U.S. security clearance organization. And even some of the UAP committee members, like the guy from Tennessee, I think his name's Tim, it starts with a B.
Tim Pool?
Not Tim Pool, but he's a Congress guy.
Congress guy. That's what it says on his desk.
Yamokio.
That's his name. Congress guy Yamokio.
Yamokio.
From Tennessee. He says that he's had some visits. He had some weird government vehicles that have been around his property because he's super interested in this topic. He's open about it. He's pushing for transparency. He didn't say he was harassed, but he was right on the edge of saying that he's being tailed sometimes and that whatever that they're touching on here, the U.S. Air Force is intimately involved, knows more than what they're sharing, and apparently the CIA is involved too. So back to this debrief article. I'll just read a little bit of this. So Clearance Jobs, an organization that defines itself as the largest career network for professionals with federal government security clearances, has issued an apparent letter of guidance that also serves as a chilling warning to any industry or government insider who are considering coming forward as UAP whistleblowers with evidence of their work with non-human craft and their pilots. The letter titled, How to Blow the Whistle If You Are Working with Flying Saucers and Their Alien Pilots. This letter was issued to all subscribers via email on July 13th and is prepared with, worn buzzwords seemingly meant to belittle the topic before laying out the dire consequences that likely await anyone who breaks their security oaths to talk about their classified work. So they make fun of the topic, and then they say, yeah, we're making fun of it a little bit, but you know what happens.
But we know where your kids go to school.
Pretty much.
You can say whatever you want, but here's a picture of your kid sleeping.
After outlining the claims involving U.S. government's alleged possession of non-human craft made by former intelligence officer David Grouch, claims which first appeared in a story by Leslie Keane and Ralph Lumenthal and published by The Debrief, what I'm reading right here. The letter is broken up in the letter about the agency is broken up into 5 segments. The first title, Whistleblowing Something Good, opens with more loaded phrasing and language, including the second use of the term space aliens, which seems to have replaced the classic little green men when trying to downplay and stigmatize the topic, before posting a scenario where Grouch's claims are actually found to be true. If it were all true, it would be the most exciting or most extraordinary event in a millennia, with seismic implications for science, philosophy, religions, sociology, psychology, technology, everything, writes the author, who describes it as a regular contribution to clearance jobs. Nothing would be the same again. It would be a unifying force unlike anything since the Constantine legalized Christianity in the Roman Empire. Boy,
what?
That's what he says. That's the most...
First of all, that not only is that an oddball esoteric reference, that's way outside most people's lexicon or zeitgeist. I mean, good gravy.
This guy goes on to say, hiding flying saucers isn't government wrongdoing exactly, or fraud, waste, or abuse, Brown adds with one metaphorical eyebrow raised. At most, it's just a little weird. Blowing the whistle on aliens, in other words, is a complete and total positive for all involved. That's weird to say.
There's some just strange phrases in these stories.
Yeah, it's crazy. So leave out this next section says leave out the lizard people. In the next section, if lizard people are not involved, Brown lays out the theoretical scenario that could be faced by a potential whistleblower. Leave the aliens out of it for the moment. He writes, suppose you are a scientist for the Department of Energy helping to develop some revolutionary carbon capture technology. It uses minimal energy, works in seconds, and turns carbon dioxide captured from the atmosphere into stable, harmless solids. You document your concerns and go through the chain trying desperately to get someone to listen to you, but no one does. The classification remains, Brown laments. So you leak it to the journal Nature, though you are careful to protect the parts that can be reverse engineered by the bad guys. The revelations cause an uproar for obvious reasons. Brown then goes out to point the legal paradox his seemingly good-intentioned Paul Revere has opened up, specifically the legal consequences for them personally. Legally, you're on the hook for this, even if you just saved the planet Earth. So no good deed goes unpunished.
Also, they just refer to Grouch as Grouch, David Grouch as Paul Revere.
I suppose so. That's the analogy they're making here.
What the?
Like, I wonder how many people actually read this email that is sent out. Like, how many people really read their emails? You get hundreds of emails a day. You're on mailing lists, and unless you're looking for a job, you might not be reading something from clearance jobs. This seems like this was sent out as almost kind of like an indicator for people. Like it is a warning to people in the know, for people who actually read this thing, which might be a select group of people. It's almost like back in the Cold War era, like Soviet spies would put secret messages in newspapers, and vice versa. The CIA would put secret messages in publications, and only the spies that knew to look for that information would pick up on those clues. I wonder if something like that is going on here. Oh,
you're saying that they're putting it out there. It's It's really dense. There's a lot of information in this. It seems like it's a lot of government boilerplate, but those who know to look for certain messages within it are going to be able to see those.
I think so.
All right.
So this is a very lengthy article. Let's see here.
Keep reading.
Let's see here. So similar to the bulk of the arguments against blowing the whistle layered within the letter, this pair of comments seems to assume once again that one is blowing the whistle for some sense of public good and not for the specific illegal activities alleged by Grouch. Activities which, again, have spurred Congress members from both sides of the aisle to investigate them together and motivate the former Inspector General to take up the filings of Grouch's IG case. So, yeah, Grouch is basically saying illegal stuff is going on. This letter was given a warning outlining things that are and aren't illegal. And basically, don't whistleblow just because you see an alien. That's what I got out of it. Like, just because they're hiding a saucer doesn't mean it's illegal. So don't go blabbing your mouth.
So don't blow aliens. Got it.
Though your career is over and you're sitting in a jail cell, you are still, ethically, at least, on solid footing.
Well, whatever helps you sleep at night in your federal pound me in the ass prison.
That's what the letter says right there.
I feel good about it.
Go to jail.
I ain't never going to see a cloud again, but I feel good.
Strictly from a utilitarian perspective, your act did the maximum amount of good for the maximum amount of people. As a matter of deontology,
I not see the word.
Deontology. I guess
I'd have to.
That's fine. You had a duty to do something so intrinsically good and right, and ultimately good government should be as transparent as possible and accountable to its citizens. And you can reflect on all this as you decay in your federal penitentiary.
as you rot away in a 6x6 cell that's too short for you to stand up in.
Don't worry, though. You got a heck of a good book deal waiting for you on the other side.
Yeah, that other side's called death.
So there you go. That's what they're telling people with security clearances is basically to shut up. It doesn't matter if it's going to change the world. And it doesn't matter if it's going to take us into a Star Trek future. You're going to jail. That's what they're saying.
Yeah, he needs to go to jail.
Is this a thinly veiled threat at David Grouch that he's going to go to jail?
I think it's a general shot across the bow of anybody who might be thinking about this stuff.
And Grouch is too high profile right now. Like he has maybe some protection, like because he did do it through the official whistleblower channel through the IG, but anybody else.
Well, and to be fair, I don't think I would not consider him a true whistleblower.
No, he's not.
Leaker.
He's just a leaker. People told him things, and now he's telling other people. It's all hearsay. There's been no. I have not. I hate to say this, but Mick West is right. There's no new information here. There's no crazy piece of evidence, even though that Congress guy from Tennessee, Representative Yamakio, he's on record saying that he has seen video of craft that is so unbelievable it has to be alien technology. He's on record saying that. Like he's seen some super classified stuff.
Well, to be fair, I've seen a Lamborghini in person too, but I'm not sure that's really the same.
Okay. These are pretty incredible, though.
Yeah, you look at them like that thing's like a freaking spaceship.
Yep. So there's, I don't know. I mean, it'll be interesting next week what comes of it. I don't know. It does seem like when there is a major event, it is always co-opted by the bureaucracy to use for their own gain, whether it's COVID, terrorism. What other kind of big events we got?
You got Black Friday.
Black Friday, often co-opted.
Wrong.
No, well, that's
all we got. Those are two examples. What more you need?
Terrorism, Patriot Act, any of that's all of it. They're able to twist and turn on that. I mean, look how quickly people turn on a dime next news story that comes out. We're all experts on potential mutinies in Russia, and then the next week we're all experts on carbon fiber submarines getting kerploded.
Remember in the last episode we talked about the story of Joe Biden meeting with the aliens, and still not getting confirmation on that one.
Did not share his ice cream.
Yeah,
It's called the Omnicron.
Yeah, that's his favorite flavor. Like, what is that? It's like the Omnicron.
Chocolate chip.
All right, we'll move on. Hit some other headlines here. Here we go. I do have a little Bigfoot news.
Little Bigfoot. That's what you just said.
Little Bigfoot news. My goat out there. We got a goat named Littlefoot out there. How about that?
Why is he named Little Bigfoot?
It's too long of a name, I guess.
Is he named after that Russian rapper guy?
Russian rapper guy?
Yeah, isn't that Little Bigfoot? What the hell's his name? Now I'm going to have to look it up.
Yamokio.
Not Russian rapper.
MC Yamakio.
Zacatecas.
But here's a humorous Bigfoot warning issued by Taos County Sheriff. Here we go.
Warning of sorts for campers in Taos County. The sheriff's office is sharing warning of sorts for campers in Taos County on social media to protect yourself from, Bigfoot. The warning says they are coming out of the high country to feed near the Kern River. They recommend not running from or chasing Bigfoot, maybe because it doesn't exist.
Hey.
But they do suggest you take pictures if you see one.
You can't editorialize like that.
That motherfucker was throwing his own 2 cents in there.
A motherfucking Bigfoot.
Now,
that guy needs to. I'm going to wait for that dude in the parking lot.
Yep. And then let him know that Bigfoot does exist.
Got a message from Bigfoot.
I'm here, motherfucker.
Actually, that'd be a good one. Like someone from the studio runs out and smashes up the guy's car and his windshield and leaves little bits of hair on it.
Bigfoot's real, motherfucker.
Bigfoot's real, and he doesn't appreciate it. He's a viewer of the
he watched your
5
news
o'clock
broadcast.
Action News.
He used to love your news broadcast. Not anymore.
You broke Bigfoot's heart, man.
Well, there is some a drone footage of a new Bigfoot sighting. I'll bring
Little
it.
Big?
There's a little Bigfoot footage of some drone footage of Bigfoot. I'll bring this up on screen. Now it could be a guy in a costume. It could be a gal in a costume. I don't know.
Could be that newscaster if he got fired.
But I'll bring this up on screen. We can all enjoy this together.
I enjoy it.
And there's some commentary over it. It's actually pretty decent, like drone footage. It's not like super blurry, and there's some, there's some commentary from the operator. So you can take that for what it's worth. Here we go.
I like the drone noise.
I like that Foley work. There it is, so right there on screen. So it's right there on the left side of the screen. It's either a dude or a guy, and it's walking to the bottom left of the screen. So here we go. Here we go. Oh, there we go.
You broke it.
What is that?
What is that?
That's incredible. What?
So my understanding is drones can go up and down.
Yes.
Why did he not make drone go down closer to Bigfoot?
Are you serious? What?
This guy's not a very good drone pilot.
So what we're looking at here is it looks like an upright human-like creature, and it's covered like in red hair. It could be
kind of reddish brown. Yeah,
it could be a guy in a costume. It's tough to tell because it's top down, so we're not seeing like how tall this thing is in comparison to the trees next to it. There is snow on the ground, so
or a lot of cocaine.
A ton of cocaine. It's like someone dropped all their cocaine in the world. It's right there.
By the way, look at the title of this video.
What is it? It is Sasquatch, Bigfoot, or a bear. Not real.
What the hell bear looks even close to that?
Why does it say not real at the end? So maybe it's just
Is this video filmed by the same newscaster?
I don't know, but this is like the latest Bigfoot video going around here, and it does not get much better. I mean, what we
Why
see.
doesn't he get closer to the Bigfoot?
He does take the camera down or the drone down a little bit, but it's not much better because the Bigfoot has already disappeared at that point. I mean, that's it.
What is that?
What is that? There's a ton of Foley work in this. How is it possible
I don't
to hear
know what
Bigfoot's
this is.
footsteps and the drone motor?
Yeah.
Drones are loud.
What the fuck is that?
Was this his buddy out in the driveway on gravel afterwards?
It could be. I mean, there is just a lot of Foley work and everything, and it could be all bullshit. So, right.
It's bullshit.
I also find it interesting that if we assume that Bigfoot is a partially wild creature, and he heard this drone, they're loud.
Yeah.
Why does he? In no point in the video does Bigfoot look up at the drone or try to get away from it.
Yeah. Or like throw a stick at it, throw a rock at it.
Throw a tree at it. We've had lots of stories about Bigfoot throwing frickin' trees at people's houses.
So I'm going to say that this newest Bigfoot drone footage is BS.
Well, it says right in the video it's not real.
Yeah, well.
And that newscaster said it doesn't exist.
You're right. All right.
Yes.
You're right. You're right. We'll move on. Wanted to bring that up.
It was good footage, though. It was to be fair, it was stable. It was reasonably high resolution. It was not filmed with a potato by somebody who's also dancing the Thriller dance.
Mm-hmm. That would have been. I would have loved to see Bigfoot dancing the Thriller.
No,
dance.
I mean usually it's the guy behind the camera who just for some reason he's like practicing for People Got Talent or whatever the hell it is, and while he's trying to film Bigfoot with his potato.
Yeah, clear footage of something completely fake. That's great.
According to the newscaster, because it doesn't exist. We need to pull that drop just to use it in
I will. I will.
Because it doesn't exist.
Pull all that stuff. Here's a headline here. Sex and space scientists call for urgent research on the consequences of joining the Kármán Line Club.
I'll do it. Oh, wait, what?
As they claim intercourse will happen between space tourists within 10 years.
How do we That's a huge piece of news. They go up there in a penis rocket. Who knows what they're doing up there?
They're doing it all.
Shatner's up there with a camera.
Yeah, they're doing everything they can up there.
We don't know what's happening.
Yeah, they're. I'm thinking about it. They're probably pumping each other off up there. They're up there for weeks on end. You're telling me they're not getting a little friendly with each other? Of course,
we gotta lose some weight, man.
Yeah, they're doing something. So from Star Trek to Passengers, sex in space has been depicted in science fiction blockbusters for years. And while NASA categorically insists that no humans have had sex in space, that could soon change with the proliferation of space tourism.
Wait. Why does NASA's statement say no humans have had sex in space?
That is a good question.
Science.
Oh, this is science. Don Lemon will look into it.
Yes. Private space firms, including Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin and Richard Branson's Virgin Galactic, are now offering civilians a chance to venture into space, albeit for a hefty price. With this new era of spaceflight, David Cullen, professor of bioanalytical technology at Cranfield bioanalytical technology at Cranfield University, is calling for urgent research into the consequences of sex in space.
Oh, really?
Consequences. Quote, my colleagues and I believe that space tourism companies haven't adequately prepared for the consequences of people joining what we would call the Kármán Line Club, he wrote in the article for The Conversation. The Kármán Line is the boundary of 62 miles above sea level that marks the beginning of space. And they have a file photo of two people making out in 0G.
How'd they get up there?
It's a stock image.
Oh.
You wait till I do my stock image of, I'm going to do an AI image of Shatner making out with Joe Biden in space. Take that.
Okay.
And in the background, there's not a picture of Bigfoot because he doesn't
He
exist.
doesn't exist. While NASA doesn't explicitly ban sex in space, its astronauts' code of conduct calls for relationships of trust and professional standards to be maintained at all time. So pump in your bunk. Don't do it out in the open.
Don't do it where other people can see, man.
Yeah, exactly.
We all got to live here.
I mean, they got those weird.
Spray that shit
They
everywhere.
got those weird suck toilets that just suck everything. You tell you don't got like a suck hose for everything else.
So that's NASA's official response. Guys, like, I'm just kind of curious. What do we do if we really gotta just whack it? It's like, dude, that's why there's a suck toilet.
You got a suck toilet. You just put your groin over the toilet and do your business. And then your colleagues come by and see your butt flying, like ass is up in the air while your crotch is attached to the front end of the toilet, and they know what you're doing, and you're stuck there until they turn off the suck machine.
Yeah, they call that thing a space ring when you get that hickey around your crotch.
Yeah.
Penis man.
Too much time on the suck toilet.
The space agency has also banned any married couples from going into space together, although this is mostly due to group dynamics rather than the worries of them having sex. Despite this, Professor Cullen claims that sex in space will happen within the next decade. It's going to happen, people, like it or not.
We will have sex in space. It will happen.
Yeah. If he has to go up there himself and do the business, he'll do it. Considering that space travel is no longer reserved for professional astronauts, the various motivations of space tourists and upcoming spacecraft developments, we could conclude that in-space sex will probably happen within the next 10 years, he wrote. But sex in space won't be straightforward.
It'll be like upside down and backwards.
Yeah, it's not easy. Speaking to the Mail Online professor of the dean of the Department of Plant Science at McGill University in Montreal, who has done significant research on sex in space, explained that the main issue would be for the partners to try to remain in physical proximity, since one can't rely on gravity to push one partner up against the other. Another issue will be trying to avoid hitting one's head, since, again, there is no gravity to prevent the partner to drift away from each other and against the nearest obstacle with each movement. So not a lot. You can't do a lot of thrusting. It's going to have to be very gentle porn.
That's right.
Very gentle
I'm a little
movements.
confused by their constant talk of shoving and grabbing.
They do a lot. Apparently, space astronauts and astronaut sex are very violent.
Problem is they get all lubed up and there's nothing to grab onto, and you're just kind of bouncing all over the place like a squeegee.
Maybe they just go space crazy and they forget how to have like regular normal sex, and so
only crazy space sex.
Yeah.
I think we got a memory problem here.
Blood circulation in space is affected and could make it difficult for a man to get erections, according to Lori Meggs from AI Signal Research.
Some explosive bolts.
Going to have some boner problems in space? Is that what we're talking about here? Okay.
You're not taking care of your duties here like you're supposed to.
It's tough. Blame the
what the
gravity.
hell?
I'm blaming space.
Space is problem.
They don't have any space Viagra for this problem? I'm sure they would. In the article for NASA, she said that there's no gravity to pull blood into the lower parts of the body. Instead, blood goes to the chest and head, causing astronauts to have puffy faces and bulging blood vessels in their necks. Oh, that's real attractive.
Yeah, why are they puffy there and bulging there and not other places?
Yeah.
Look at the size of that thing.
Look how bulgy he is.
Well, sex in space has yet to happen. Professor Cullen claims that the sexual interactions themselves aren't the real concern. Instead, he says research is needed into the impacts of human conception in space. Early orbital space tourism flights are expected to last for days to weeks, so only the early stages of human reproduction could happen in space. Passengers will not be allowed to board if they are already known to be pregnant, although the space tourism industry does not appear to have considered concealed or unknown pregnancies. Sometimes women don't realize they are pregnant until they go into labor. That's pretty rare, but yeah.
So they're not allowing pregnant women onto the spaceships. What about dudes with a stiffy?
Yeah. Can you walk on fully erect?
So you're gonna have to take care of that before you go up there. I'm
saving this for space.
Only in space.
I heard it's kind of hard to get hard up there, so I want to get all ramped up before I leave orbit. I'm just pre-gaming down here.
Pre-game, get all ramped up. It's hard to maintain. I gotta start. Don't confuse. Oh, see, I'm losing it. Damn it! It's $20 a pill.
Oh, I'm sure that would affect, like, you might pass out easier from, like, the G-forces if all your blood is already, like, centered on your groin, and then you're shot out into space. You're gonna pass out.
Wait, why are they getting shot out into space now?
Isn't that how rockets work? You get shot out into space.
You get squirted.
Yeah, you get squirted out into space. Let's see.
Where's all your damn cartoon sounds?
No, they're
people slipping and squirting and all.
My cartoon sound effects are right here. I don't know if I have a splat. I got that.
See, we could have been using these.
Wow, he's hard. Wow, too hard for space. Let's see here. There have been no studies on how contraceptives will be affected by space or space environments. Contraceptives, like there's space condoms?
Special space condoms developed by NASA.
Did you bring condoms?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You see the NASA logo on there? Of course I did.
Yep. NASA logo. These are NASA condoms.
You know they're going to
come
work.
in those little foil bags. Freeze-dried.
This is not going to burn up on re-entry. This is good.
I'm going to wear one to protect myself just in case.
This thing goes down.
We might burn up, but my junk is good.
Hop in the condom. We'll ride this thing down through orbit.
Everyone get inside. It expands dramatically.
Amid the rise of space tourism, Professor Collins suggests that private space firms should urgently come together to develop a strategy. Gee, this guy just loves talking about fucking in space. This is all he wants to do.
Urgently come.
The only way he thinks he's going to be able to get laid is in space. I think this is his whole game plan. A simple solution could be the combination of a pre-space flight counseling with all space tourists about the risks of human conception in space. Oh, this guy's a real prude. He doesn't want it to happen.
Oh, so he's all right. He's got a different plan. He's got to go up and stop it.
Yeah. This guy is like the father in Footloose. He's like an old crotchety
no
old
dancing.
Man. No dancing and no sex in space.
No space. You think he's going up there with a garden hose?
Probably hose him down.
A long hose.
No dancing in space and no sex.
I'm throwing buckets of water on them if they start up.
He goes on to say legal waivers absolving space tourism operators of liability if human conception was still to occur could also be considered. Let's do bed checks. Come around every 5 minutes and check. Just tap their nuts. Make sure they're not hard.
Not sure that's how it works.
You could do that. Walk around, slap their spacesuit. Like, keep that down. Keep that down.
Little body check there.
There you go. Sounds like a real good time in space.
Yeah. This guy's a dick, man. Why's he up here?
Yeah, there's some astronaut gives a tour of the International Space Toilet, and she's like showing everyone how to use a toilet. It doesn't look like a comfortable toilet. I gotta be honest with you. Although
it's the suck toilet.
It is the suck toilet right there. It's super
By the way,
small.
She's touching that thing all over. Who cleans that?
They got a janitor.
Oh, the space janitor.
Yeah, he goes up there once a month.
Who's that guy? That's Jerry. He works here.
Yeah, that's weird. That's a weird.
He's pushing around one of those carts with a mop on it in 0G.
He's got a squeaky wheel.
Every now and then he tries to mop, it's just water everywhere.
He just smears everything around. Jeez. Well, there you go, people. This is your opportunity. I mean, honestly, if you were the first person to have sex in space, wouldn't you scream that from the mountaintops like that? That's the ultimate, wouldn't it? That'd be the ultimate if you're into that kind of status thing, I suppose.
No, wait. I guess we have to clarify. They never really got into this very much. Does it have to be sex with another person?
I think, yeah. I don't think you can do yourself. I don't think I think masturbation has happened in space.
It's constantly happening up there.
Yeah, that's all they do. What do you think those science experiments are?
They try to race planes as they go across the sky. Faster!
They probably have competition on how far they can shoot. No, okay, we're getting that.
We'll need to think about that.
We'll leave this conversation. Hit the bullseye. All right. Well, there's some other headlines here. So, U.S. NATO weapons stockpiles dangerously low. Okay, so keep that in your minds, people. China's booming. Is China's boom turning a bust? The youth unemployment races to record high as the economy suffers sharp downturn. North Korea detains U.S. soldier who crossed military border into country unauthorized. So there you go. They did that one.
Oh, really?
You can't walk over there.
Trump did it.
Well, he was the president. I'm sure that would have looked bad if they would have detained him immediately.
Not my president, man. Huh. Yeah, he steps across and they just tackle him and drag him off.
They should.
Got him.
They should have. They should have. Because that would have been great to see the U.S. State Department try to negotiate to get Trump back, even though they didn't want him back.
Yeah, I was going to say they wouldn't want him back.
They wouldn't want him back, but they would have to do something to maintain appearances.
Look, if you give us Trump back, we'll give you $1. We don't want $1. Well, we tried.
Another headline here. AI turns Wi-Fi into camera.
What?
Have you heard this one?
Are they just using buzzwords now?
No, I'll play this video. This is interesting. I don't know what to make of this, but here's a video on this. I'll bring this up on screen too.
Text. How about this? Can we go from the patterns of your brain when you're looking at an image to reconstructing the image? So the way this worked was they put human beings inside an fMRI machine. They had them look at images and figure out what the patterns are, like translate from image to brain patterns. And then, of course, they would hide the image. So this is a image of a giraffe that the computer has never seen. It's only looking at the fMRI data, and this is what the computer thinks the human is seeing. Yeah. Now, to get state of the art, here's where the combinatorial aspects, why you can start to see these are all the same demo. To do this kind of imaging, the latest paper, the one that happened even after this, which is already better, uses stable diffusion, uses the thing that you use to make art. Like, what should a thing that you use to make art have anything to do with reading your brain? But of course, it goes further. So in this one, they said, can they understand the inner monologue, the things you're saying to yourself in your own mind? Mind you, by the way, when you dream, like your visual cortex runs in reverse, so your dreams are no longer safe. But we'll try this. So they had people watch a video and just narrate what was going on in the video in their mind. So there's a woman, she gets hit in the back, she falls over. This is what the computer reconstructed the person thinking. See a girl, looks just like me, get hit in the back, and then she is knocked off.
This sounds fake as shit.
So our thoughts, are starting to be decoded. Yeah. Just think about what this means for authoritarian states, for instance.
Yeah, I don't know what to make of this, but he goes on to say...
By the way, he never used the word Wi-Fi, so that whole thing was just... that. Whoever titled this freaking TikTok video...
He does go into Wi-Fi. Oh, and it's like about a minute left. Here we go. So, essentially, they're combining... The technology people are combining the use of large language models, things like Midjourney, and then Wi-Fi to decode parts of people's thinking, I guess.
Where's the Wi-Fi come in?
Or if you want to generate images that maximally activate your pleasure sensor or anything else. Okay, but let's keep going, right? To really get the sense of the combinatorics of this. How about can we go from Wi-Fi radio signals, sort of like the Wi-Fi routers in your house, they're bouncing off radio signals that work sort of like sonar. Can you go from that to where human beings are, to images? So what they did is they had, a camera looking at a space with people in it. That's sort of like coming in from one eye. The other eye is the radio signals, so sonar from the Wi-Fi router. And they just learned to predict, like, this is where the human beings are. Then they took away the camera. So all the AI had was the language of radio signals bouncing around a room. And this is what they're able to reconstruct. Real-time 3D pose estimation, right? So suddenly AI has turned every Wi-Fi router into a camera that can work in the dark, specially tuned for tracking living beings.
All right, that's it.
Google was doing something like this a number of years ago. Remember, they were scanning as they were going on war driving. Basically, remember war driving?
Yeah.
As they were scanning Wi-Fi signals, they were able to use that to map out people's houses in the interior to define what's a wall and where there were people. And they said they stopped, but clearly not.
Yeah, I don't know how, what this actually is. I've heard of some of this technology before, and Google has proposed using certain elements of Wi-Fi to describe the interiors of structures. So that technology does work. Now, at the beginning part of that, what he's talking about, I wasn't as familiar with, but basically using Wi-Fi as a sonar, especially with mesh Wi-Fi, and it could pick up the strength of the signal between a mesh Wi-Fi network. It probably could describe the interior of a building pretty well. But for what use, don't know. It's just data that can be collected and stored somewhere.
So they know where to send the killbots.
Probably something like that. They have a good layout of every house, because I think just about everyone has Wi-Fi now, and in some way. So just a little interesting little piece there.
Maybe the dream thing seems a little that's a bridge too far, because he's basing it on, he's telling us, hey, people said they dreamed about this, and here's what an AI reconstruction of that would look like. I think he jumped the gun on that one. The Wi-Fi thing seems a little more believable because Google got in trouble for doing it a number of years ago.
Yeah, and I think even recently, Amazon was trying to do the same thing. They had a specific network protocol, especially if you use Amazon devices. That's why these Amazon devices are so fucking cheap. They basically almost give them away because they want access to your network. And
it was the doorbells, and they were creating additional networks that would talk to each other under the guise of, well, if your network goes down or is not available or isn't strong enough, then it would latch onto somebody else's using their Ring doorbells as a repeater.
Yes, that's
and
what
thus be able to continue broadcasting or recording whatever video it's capturing at the time. And then, by the way, we're also going to give it to the cops.
It was also, it was basically Amazon's version of creating its own mesh network on top of yours. It's like you said, a repeater, which is, unless you know what you're looking for in that, people just plug that shit in. They really do. They just plug that shit in. And then
it was on sale, Mike. It was $12.
I know. I want to see who's at my door all the time.
Right now. Who's there? No, there's nobody there. Who's there now? No, there's nobody there.
But yeah, it's all happening, people. Why do I have to say this?
It's all happening.
Yeah. You know what, Gretchen? What do you got over there? Let me transition over and see what you have. I've done enough. I've done enough damage. Here we go.
Too much damage. All right.
Freaked out.
Boy, I had so much stuff here. I didn't think I had this much stuff. I have that same Bigfoot story, but we already covered that. Let's see here. I didn't realize this. I forgot. I have penis news as well, but
whoa!
Maybe we'll save that.
Save it for what?
All right, tell you what. I have two stories we have to do back to back. So here's the first one. It's penis news, and then I have related penis news.
Wow. This is a double donger.
Double donger.
Oh, you did have Hulk Hogan in there saying weird karaoke.
Oh yeah, do
stuff.
that. We run the Hulk Hogan karaoke first. I forgot all about that.
Yeah, can't forget. If we have Hulk Hogan news, Hulk Hogan news, we have to do
Hulk Hogan.
Me, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan, Hulk Hogan,
Paul Hogan,
Hulk Hogan.
Okay, we'll run this one. Here, this is the Hulkster freaking out. Yeah, hold on a second. Here it is.
Oh, man, extra. Read all about it, brother. Twice the pump, twice the size, twice the craziness. It's so hot here in Clearwater Beach. It's hot as bejesus, man. You can fry an egg, cook pancakes, make some bacon out on the sidewalk. But the reason spring break never ends around here, brother, Clearwater Beach, it's so hot. You can't wear any clothes. You gotta wear an itsy bitsy teeny weeny bikini wherever you go, man. All the guys that are jacked up, they got their board shorts on, no shirts. It's a constant party at Clearwater Beach.
Okay.
That's why tonight at Hogan's Hangout with Karaoke, rolling, karaoke, it just keeps going on for Oli and ever. All I gotta say, man, is I'm so tongue-tied, I don't know what's gonna happen now. We had the quarterfinals giving away the cash, Jack. Maria cashed in, Hugo cashed in. That Maria, she's solid as a rock, brother.
Does he own his own? Does he own his own club or something like that? Hogan's Hangout.
I'm not sure if he owns the club. He and his son are always talking about doing stuff at this same bar. So I don't know if they own it or they're part owners. But they keep doing these like 2-3 nights a week. They do stuff at this local club.
Like Hogan's pretty much. Well, Hulk Hogan's pretty much a promoter.
Hulk Hogan.
Hulk Hogan's pretty much a promoter, I think, for his son, and his son is the DJ. And I'm at Hogan's Hangout right now in Clearwater Beach, and yeah, Hogan, we can go just check out their fucking menu right now.
Their menu.
They got coconut shrimp for $18. Coconut shrimp for $18. They got the Oyster Rockefeller loaded nachos. Chips and salsa is $12. $12 for chips and salsa.
I'm upset by this.
That's Alex's review. Look, Mr. Kogan, I got to tell you, I'm upset by this.
These prices are just too goddamn high. Yeah, everything's right around the $20 mark.
Good Lord.
All right. And I don't think I can afford to go to Hogan's Hangout. I'm not some big rich rustler like Hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Junkyard Dog.
Or Junkyard Dog. I don't got Junkyard Dog money. I can't go eat at Hogan's Hangout. Or Jerry the King Lawler. Or the Red Rooster. I ain't making Red Rooster money.
Superfly Jimmy Snuka. Oh, wait, isn't he in jail or dead?
Superfly?
Didn't he murder somebody?
I don't want to say that. I don't want to, the good Snuka. I like Jimmy.
He is dead.
Okay. Did he kill somebody?
I'm pretty sure. Wasn't that?
Okay. That's good enough for me.
He was charged, arrested with third-degree murder.
But never convicted.
Deemed mentally competent to not stand trial.
See?
And then died.
Innocent.
I beat the charges.
Okay.
He died 12 days after charges were dismissed.
Oh, man. Poor Jimmy.
From the top rope.
All right. Well, let's go to the first article for penis news, I guess. Battle of the Bulge. Hamptons men flock to docks for penis injections in hopes of beefing up for the summer.
That's some good news on that front.
Wow. This is a thing. You can beef up your wang in order to get it plump.
Well, that or if you're going into space.
Okay, yeah. Well, size matters in the Hamptons and not just in real estate. Huh? Physicians told the Post that the hottest spot for men in the Tony Long Island Beach crowd this summer is the doctor's office, where they're demanding penis injections to enhance their below the belt assets. Okay. These guys.
I like the phrase that they're demanding.
I demand.
I'm not going to pay. Just they go in, they just kick open doors, and they're yelling.
Inject it. Put it here. Put it here.
Inject it. Put it in me.
Thanks, Don Lemon.
Throw it all. Give it to me.
These guys.
He's demanding.
He is demanding. These guys in the Hamptons love to skinny dip at night, and they don't want to come up short, quipped urologist Dr. David Schusterman.
Let's see.
He's the founder of NY Urology.
Schusterman.
They definitely have penis envy out there in the Hamptons, he said.
They love their dongs.
Referring to a growing number of deep-pocketed male beachgoers who care about the size of their members as much as their mansions. As much as their manse? I think it's supposed to be mansions, I'm guessing, but they misspelled. The doctor said he started to admit...
It's a play on words. They're referring to just manse being the word. Like they're things they have, and they're basically just making a double joke. They're double entendre. This guy's too clever for the Post. Fire him.
Yeah. The doctor said he started to administer the Priapus shot, known as the P shot, back in 2018 to help combat erectile dysfunction, but noted that a byproduct of the injection not only helps with erections, but with size. Wow.
I bought it.
Oh, Bill Clinton chimed right in. He chimed right in there.
I'm on my way.
You get the picture.
Let's see here. Quote, it's like a vampire facial for the penis, said the doctor, who told the Post in 2017 that the Hamptons bachelors were lining up for vasectomies to avoid messy parental issues after any summer fun. Quote, it makes your skin glow and improves how your skin looks, he said, of the shots. Okay, the shots help. Okay. But with the penis, it helps improve the blood vessels. So not only do you get better blood flow to the penis during sex, but it improves the size. It makes it look fuller because it improves the blood vessels down to your penis.
There's no question you screwed up.
A 43-year-old single lawyer with a house in Watermill told the Post that he swears by the treatment to prep for his sexy nighttime soirees. If you get the P shot, you get the P shots. So late nights, you're ready to go.
We need to get our game face on.
That's right, Bill.
Bill is all on board with this.
He loves this shot.
Don't the Clintons live in West Hampton?
I think they got a home in the Hamptons, sure. Who do you think started this men's club of penis injectors?
They've got horses out there. Was it somebody in Prickly Pete?
I think so. The same guy who has 5 solariums at his house. He said the man said about 30 minutes before he brings a couple of girls and a guy friend or two back to his private backyard after an evening of carousing, he fires up the home hot tub remotely from his cell phone for the perfect bubbly backdrop. He said,
I don't know. Why is that even in there?
He's just
guy's bragging about his remote-controlled hot tub?
Exactly. He's just telling how cool this guy is.
I got a remote-controlled hot tub and a plump wang.
He said the injection swells his confidence when then dealing with his guests who conveniently have no bathing attire with them. Oh, I see.
I forgot my swimsuit.
The injections make it look bigger. It definitely feels fuller and more plump, he said of his own penis.
I think that's hilarious.
The doctor said injections can lead to an all-around enlargement of more than 1 1/4 inches. So, I mean, you can get a whole 1 1/4 inches extra for yourself.
Up to 2 1/4 now.
Yeah.
Don't believe the 5.6.
Yeah, Trump got duped. Trump got duped.
He's out there on stage for 20 minutes complaining about Dr. Schusterman.
He said he was going to give me at least 5 more inches.
Let me tell you, folks, there's a shot out in the Hamptons. It's called the P shot. Don't do the P shot.
It's not good. The stiff prices for the procedures topping as much as $10,000 for a series of 5 shots administered every month or so are still a drop in the bucket for guys with the size on the brain. The 30-minute non-surgical procedure isn't painful either and has no downside of risk except cost, the doctor said. I don't know if I believe that.
Yeah, are they injecting it right?
That's what it sounds like.
I'm not.
It
not
sounds
on
like
board
you're
with this.
getting these injections right in your penis.
Inject it. Put it in me.
Let's see. He explains the technology involves using a patient's own blood from his arm to isolate the plasma and then injecting the plasma with a syringe with a tiny needle into the numbed penis.
No.
Blood.
Sir, there's a pool of blood out here.
The end result increases circulation and stimulates the growth of blood vessels in your penis.
In a pool of blood.
Doc, it was supposed to be a pool of blood in here.
You're fuller, and obviously the sex part's better. You get improvements in sex and in size, said the doctor, adding that while guys see their penis typically shrink in water, that won't happen here because it's already from the injection. It's already full from the injections. So there you go.
Have you ever seen a man's blank? Blank my blank and blank you.
You like gladiator movies?
He said that his booking started it started to swell in spring, and patients typically begin their series of injections for optimal summer results.
Come in naked.
Guys want to be fuller in the summer. Yeah, to hell with the winter. That's where everything goes to hide.
No winter stuff for me.
And my penis is hibernating in the winter like a bear.
So time to rest.
Don't expect anything out of it. They have these private backyards, bring girls back. That's what hot tubs in the Hamptons are for. They notice other guys may be bigger, and they have size envy.
19 men in 3 days.
Yeah.
Ugh.
All right. This is an advertisement. It's like such a thoroughly done article. Like, this is an advertisement.
Got multiple people working on this story.
Yeah.
All right, well, bounce me out of this one. I got related news.
You got related penis news.
Sort of.
Okay.
He's grabbing his crotch.
By the way, I forgot to credit R.S. Harmful for posting that story. He's on the penis beat.
Yeah. That guy knows.
All right, so today, see if I make sure I get this link in there. Today is July 19th, and from the link I just sent you, you'll see that July 19th is a big day for all of us.
Oh, it is?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't realize this. Usually it's on the forefront of my mind. It is National Hot Dog Day today, July 19th, 2023. Yay!
That's a huge piece of news.
Usually I have these kind of holidays marked off on my calendar, but this one didn't have on my calendar.
Yeah, what the hell?
When we think of summer, hot dogs come to mind almost immediately. It's just part of the overall experience. A summer day at the amusement park or at a baseball stadium pairs nicely with a hot dog or tofu dog for those who prefer a meatless version.
Only hot dog, not tofu dog.
Hot dogs don't have to be made with meat, and
Yes, they do.
And anyone can enjoy the age-old American favorite food any time of the year. Sure, hot dogs can be purchased and enjoyed at any time of the year. However, July 19th is absolutely the day we hold them in the highest regard.
That's good news.
Do we really?
I will start.
Yeah, I can't come into work today. It's
I'm going to wake up my
Hot Dog
wife.
Day.
I'm going to wake up my wife and say, it's National Hot Dog Day. Get up. We're going to
Was
start
up all
grilling.
night putting out the hot dog decorations.
We're going to
filling
start
the neighbors' shoes with hot dogs.
We're going to start grilling at 9:30 at night. I forgot it was National Hot Dog Day. The history of National Hot Dog Day. You should know some solid trivia about hot dogs, including knowing that the term itself was derived from the 19th century at a time when German immigrants brought their own culinary traditions with them to the New World. It's believed that they brought to New York, America. They brought to New York, America's. What does that mean? New York, America's first hot dog. Originally
I'm missing a comma in there, but yeah.
Originally referred to as the Dachshund sausage.
Dachshund
sausage.
Dachshund sausage.
For their shape that resembles the beloved Dachshund pups. Around
Dachshund.
Around 1870, Charles Feltman, a German immigrant, began to sell hot dogs out of a stand on Coney Island. He sold over 3,600 frankfurters in a bun that year alone. This guy loves to sell wieners. So.
He just can't get enough wieners.
He loves them.
And he took him out to the Hamptons, told some doctor, hey, inject stuff in this one. Make it bigger.
Make this one bigger. I like my hot dogs plump and firm when I eat them.
In the summer, I like plump dogs. I know it's $10,000, takes 5 shots, but check out the size of this hot dog.
It's worth it. Let's see here. There you go, people. You can go out there and celebrate. I'm not going to stop you. The National Hot Dog Day by the numbers 7 billion. The estimated number of hot dogs consumed by Americans from Memorial Day to Labor Day. 7 billion hot dogs are consumed in that time period. Holy crap.
That's a lot. How many are those? Most of those are probably by that guy on 4th of July in the contest.
Let's see, 150 million. The number of hot dogs consumed on the 4th of July. Holy moly.
Put that on my tombstone.
Okay. Alex Jones wants a stat on his tombstone. Okay.
Well, he helped. He helped us get to that 150 million.
So it is on the 4th of July. So you're honoring, the country in some way. 20 million, the number of hot dogs eaten by baseball fans at Major League ballparks during the season. 350 million pounds, the amount of hot dogs purchased from retail stores by Americans. And then 20 billion, the number of hot dogs consumed by Americans in a year. 20 billion. That's insane. How many hot dogs is that per person?
Yep. Doing the math. Give me a second here.
ChatGPT.
I'll be faster. 60, apparently.
60.
Not that many.
That can't be 60. The average American eats 60 hot dogs per year.
Well, assuming 330 million Americans, right? Yeah, 60.
There's no fucking way. I have like one hot dog a year.
You're saying your way, so someone is picking up the slack for you? Is that what's happening?
Yeah, there's a couple.
Your neighbor is over there just cramming hot dogs and crying himself to sleep.
Yeah.
Because he knows you're not eating hot dogs.
3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece.
Yeah, it's probably these guys.
That guy.
I'm a Texas man.
All the Texas men are skewing these stats.
600 pounds of men.
Takes a lot of hot dogs for 600 pounds of men.
They're making up for a lot of Northeasterners. There's no doubt about that.
Falling down in your duties.
Yeah.
It ain't going to work.
What was he complaining about originally? Like Jimmy Dean pork sausage size or something?
No. Well, initially, so it was they had like the 10 ounce or 12 ounce cans of the Jimmy Dean sausage. But now they moved it down to 8 ounces. But they offered the 12 ounce in the maple sausage. But he's not from the North. He's a Texas man. He's not going to eat maple sausage.
Gotcha. That is a very particular complaint.
You understand that?
You understand me? So, yeah, 60 hot dogs per person, every man, woman, and child. So, as soon as you have a kid, it's old enough for solid foods, hot dogs. All the time.
Yeah. Someone's got to eat them.
Maybe that's why they ordered so many hot dogs to the White House.
Oh, maybe. You know what? Government contracts. That makes up for a lot of the hot dog usage.
It's not going to get renewed unless we clear this 60 hot dogs per person.
We have a hot dog budget for the year. If we don't use it, then we lose it next year.
They'll take it away.
They'll take away our hot dog budget. So we have to do it. Here's listen to the Jimmy Dean phone call real quick.
Randy Taylor, I don't know where you people come from. I don't know if you test your products, your quantity of your product. Your products are very delicious. Love your sausage for 30-something years, but I can't take and feed a family of 5 on a little 12-ounce roll of sausage. I don't mind paying you more money for your 16-ounce roll of sausage, but you don't have it anymore. You've got a 12-ounce roll, and you got 3 men that weigh over 200 pounds apiece, a woman that's a little plump Scotch girl, and a daughter who's 13, and you're going to try to take a 12-ounce roll of sausage and a couple of dozen eggs and feed that. It ain't going to work, and I'm not going to purchase your product anymore or ever again. And as far as your 16-ounce and maple and sage, I don't eat that. I'm not from the north. I'm a Texas man. Jimmy Dean sausage is for southern people to eat with the breakfast with the fried eggs and the T-bone steaks. And I can't see going to a little 12-ounce package to feed 4, 5, 6 people. And I'm not going to buy 2 of those 12-ounce packages just because you want to downsize and charge the same goddamn price. I'd sure like a reply, and I'd sure like you to go back to your 16-ounce package on your regular sausage, because I'm not going to buy it otherwise ever again. I'll just have my own damn sausage made like I used to 30-something years ago. It's not as tasty as yours is, but it'll work. Goodbye. That little 12-ounce goddamn roll of sausage supposed to feed your brother and me and you 600 pounds of meat.
Yeah, I guess so.
At least. You get my point? And the 2 girls, and they put it in that fucking pussy roll of sausage. Son of a bitch. Somebody needs their ass kicked. Some little consumer geekaroid fucked this shit up.
Geekaroid?
Save money. Yeah, save money. Save money. So fuck, I'm going to eat, goddammit.
Oh, I've not heard that in years.
It's National Hot Dog Day, people. So if you're listening to this on the 20th or the next day,
it's too late.
It's too late. You have to wait till next year.
No hot dogs until next year, and you have to eat 60 of them on the National Hot Dog Day.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot. You're going to have to pound out at least, that's like 5 hot dogs a month. Can you do that? I bet we can do that. I don't know. All right, next.
Why are you portioning out your hot dogs so, like, conservatively?
I'm just thinking for, like, after the bomb.
Oh, so you got to maintain your 60 a year, but you also have to ration them.
I got to ration them for the apocalypse. I just have some hot dogs in my pockets next to my leeches.
Separate pockets, Mike.
Yeah, keep them separate.
Don't mix those up.
All right, well, next story here. Let's see what else you got.
Everybody cut foot loose.
Let's see. Well, let's see. I got more dog stories. Not hot dog, but just dog stories. What else do I got here? I got a story about smokers in Hong Kong being encouraged to not smoke.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Don't want people smoking there. Got a burrito fight story.
Burrito fight?
Burrito fight.
Okay.
I have another one about an asteroid. We're all going to die.
Okay.
And then a listicle, which we love listicles, of the 10 worst states to live in.
I like that one. I think we got to do asteroids to really just keep it up. I'm assuming that they're measuring the asteroid in some unique way.
You know it.
Yeah. I think we
so
have
this story, get this into the carrot shop and see who do we credit this one to. Credit to Buckets for posting this story into the Discord.
All right. Once again, comes from the Jerusalem Post. They seem to be on the forefront of measuring
of
planetary
newest
objects.
forms of measurement.
So here we go. This is what we got up on the screen right here. Asteroid the size of 45 aardvarks to fly past Earth on Wednesday.
That's good news.
On National Hot Dog Day?
It's National Aardvark Asteroid Day.
Let's see here. So, The asteroid, the size of just over 45 aardvarks, is set to pass by Earth on Wednesday in honor of National Hot Dog Day. The asteroid in question was designated by NASA as 2023 NE1, according to the Center for Near-Earth Object Studies. Okay, so they do actually have a picture of an aardvark down here just for file purposes.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe the episode artwork should be an aardvark flying through space at this point. I mean, that's pretty epic. So perhaps
with a bunch of hot dogs.
But for perhaps not the most reliable metric, but certainly a more interesting one, look no further than the humble aardvark. These pig-nosed anteaters may only be native to parts of Africa, but these curious creatures have carved out a surprising niche in pop culture, whether it be from classic children's TV series. Arthur.
Why are they talking about aardvarks?
Well, give it a background on it, in case people don't know what an aardvark is.
Yeah, idiots.
So the children's TV show Arthur centered on the titular aardvark, or from the edgier smash hit indie comic series Cerebus the Aardvark. Who can forget the NASA program Aardvark Israel? I'm more familiar with Cerebus the Aardvark, which is I think a Dave Sims comic book. Brilliant artwork, interesting story. Check it out. But anyways, it would probably take 45 Cerebus to really come close to measuring the size of this asteroid that is hurling towards Earth, and it might kill us. Let's see here. So the asteroid is gonna hit Earth. Long story short, the asteroid has already hit Earth in 2023, so it's possible
it already hit us.
That's what it says. The asteroid has already hit Earth in 2023, so it might be possible one might do it again.
Wait, like it's gonna bounce off?
They say we already got hit by one.
When?
I don't know. It must have not been very big.
Go down one line. It says asteroid 2023 CX1 impacted near Normandy.
Oh, they've already suffered so much there.
We got hit by an asteroid. We didn't even know about it.
How big was that one? Was that 100 aardvarks?
No, the measurement for that one. They said asteroid that's twice the size of a Super Bowl trophy. It's 2 Super Bowl trophies tall.
Okay. I don't know.
So somewhere out there's a scientist walking around with a Super Bowl trophy, like measuring shit.
Yeah, how do they know how big one? None of those guys have ever held one. They don't know.
How do you know? What do you know? What like Refrigerator Perry's been up to?
Good question. Walter Payton, Jerry Rice,
carrying around Super Bowl trophy. That's what Jerry Rice has done in retirement.
The entire squad of the 1986 49ers. I don't know what they're doing now. Joe Montana could be up there.
Chicago Bears.
He could be quarterback.
Super Bowl shuffle.
Yeah, I don't know.
Joe Montana in retirement.
I
take all my trophies with me and I measure stuff.
He's an astrophysicist now. He looks for near-Earth objects.
Joe Montana and Steve Young measure things. They just carry around all their trophies. Soon to be joined by Tom Brady with more trophies.
Okay. Watch out. So I'm more concerned about the 45 aardvarks than the 2 Super Bowl trophy size ones. But okay. I don't think we have anything to worry about, people. We'll move on. I'm just saying.
What have I done?
What have you done? So we have 10 worst states to live in. We've got the best and worst foods to eat while driving. We have dogs have to get DNA tested to find out which ones are crapping everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
We've got people getting shamed in Hong Kong for smoking, and people having a fight with a burrito.
I think we need to figure out what are the worst states to live in.
Shit!
All right.
I'm very curious. Our international listeners probably don't give a darn about this, but and I understand you don't care about the United States that much, but I'm curious about what are the factors that go into making a state bad, because those factors might be in an area where you live. You might live in a shitty place too. You don't know.
How many aardvark-sized asteroids land in your yard every year?
Yeah.
Credit to Crazy 8 for this story.
Crazy 8. Yeah.
You're out of your neighborhood, big city boy.
Or that too.
Crazy 8. There you go. Get back in your neighborhood. These are America's 10 worst states to live and work in for 2023. And there's a big surprise at the very bottom.
Oh, really?
Yeah, big surprise there. So with nearly twice as many job openings nationwide as there are workers available to fill them, companies are setting up shop where the workers are. I don't know. These sound like phony numbers to me. Already this CNBC is...
You're one sentence into this and you're skeptical?
Yes, I am. But that's just me. Because companies are so laying off people left and right. And Disney's going down in a big way. But life, health, and inclusion is one of the study's 10 categories of competitiveness. And this year, the nationwide worker shortage that's so severe, the category is taking on an increased importance in our methodology. We consider multiple qualities of life factors, including crime rates, environmental quality, the healthcare. We also look at the quality and availability of childcare, which is one of the most important factors in getting parents back into the workforce. Okay, they have their criteria. So number 10 is Florida.
Yeah, Florida sucks.
Florida sucks. Well, according to this is like Florida is like, I guess this is like the 10th worst place that you'd want to live. Mm-hmm. This is how they're doing it. So Florida Governor Ron DeSantis hopes to ride his war on woke to the White House, but is not winning his state's points in quality of life.
Why did they immediately start with politics?
That's what they did. And so, I mean, here's Governor Ron DeSantis right here.
Hello, this is Governor Ron DeSantis, and no one gives a crap about me. So in an effort to get more support, I'm going to start streaming Fortnite while I wear a diaper. I love hot diaper action. By the way, Tom Cruise is so hot. Is Cyber Golf forever? Who remember? You're good. Yo.
I think if he came out and made those statements on mic, he might start getting more support.
Just play the first sentence of that one was just perfect.
Hello, this is Governor Ron DeSantis, and no one gives a crap about me.
He is kind of falling off a bit.
Oh, God, that came out of nowhere.
Well,
who else calls your voicemail at random?
It's just open. It's an open line. People can call.
614-388-919.
Yeah. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis hopes to ride his war on woke to the White House, but it's not winning him or his state points for quality of life. Supporters of the state's Stop Woke Act, which DeSantis signed into law in 2022, say it protects employees from diversity, equity, inclusion initiatives that DeSantis say are toxic. But many companies consider the DEI an economic imperative, and the courts have struck down parts of the law. So this is just all about this. Holy shit!
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the
actual quality of life in the state. Yeah, I mean, that's just one aspect. Holy shit!
It's like they deleted the sentence that said, "Speaking of Florida, I hate Ron DeSantis, and here's why."
Number 9 on the worst places to live, Arkansas.
That's good news.
I don't know. I kind of like Arkansas, but I don't know a lot. Not about times I've driven through there. Not bad.
Bill Clinton likes Arkansas too.
He certainly does, doesn't he? Yeah.
You get the picture.
Few states have suffered as badly from the scourge of illegal drugs as Arkansas. Well, I wonder why that is.
No, it's not because they were shipping them straight into what was the tiny little airport there? Fuck, Mena, Arkansas.
I've had enough problems without that one.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
According to FBI statistics, Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders blamed the crime problem on lax penalties as well as prison overcrowding that is forcing the state's prison system to release some violent offenders before they've completed their entire sentences. So, okay.
And selling wine before it's time.
Number 8, Tennessee.
Oh, really?
I tell you what, I like Tennessee. The times I've driven through there, pleasant people, beautiful country. It's not too hot, not too cold. Can get a little humid in the summertime, but I don't know. It's kind of beautiful. Tennessee has enthusiastically passed laws targeting LGBTQ plus rights, even if it meant crossing the bounds of constitutionality, like banning drag shows where children are present. which a federal judge struck down in June.
Didn't they just give all their criteria and now they're not talking about a single one and just about politics?
I haven't seen anything about jobs yet. I've seen nothing about jobs, economic factors, food, accessibility, safety, not a lot about crime.
Cost of living.
Cost of living should be a huge one.
Nope, only politics.
Number 7 as the suckiest places to live, Indiana.
Okay.
That's where the home office of this top 10 list is in Indiana, I believe. This comes straight from the home office with fewer than 10 licensed child care facilities per 100,000 residents. The Hoosier State is making it hard for some families to fully participate in the workforce. It is the second worst figure in the nation, behind Louisiana, according to the advocacy group Child Care Aware. Protections against discrimination under state law are limited as well.
That's the first state where they actually brought up something relevant.
Child care is a big issue for people, of course.
And they said in their criteria, child care is important about getting people back in the workplace. They need to know that child care is readily available because they're at work all day.
And in Indiana,
also they hate Ron DeSantis.
Yeah, in Indiana, you got to watch your own kid. All right,
hilarious.
Hey, watch your kid, damn it! Take your kid to work day every day.
Number 6 from the home office. Here we are. Number 6 is the crappiest state to live in, Missouri.
That's some good news on that front.
Missouri, yes. The Show Me State is showing abortion opponents the way. In 2019, the state became the first to enact the so-called trigger law, which went into effect moments after the Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade. The law, one of the strictest in the nation, bans all abortions except for the case of medical emergency, which the abortion provider must prove. Okay. Culture war issue. Number 4, this is a tie. Alabama. There you go.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Alabama is one of America's most unhealthy states with the 4th highest rate of premature deaths. It's also one of the most difficult states to vote in, with no in-person early voting and restrictions on voting by mail, according to the Center for Election Innovation and Research. I don't know if I trust this place.
Of all the criteria for selecting which states to live in,
it's hard to vote.
Early voting. Yeah. Early voting. That's top of my list.
If I can't early vote, I ain't moving there.
I'm not moving there.
I don't care. I know I got a job there, but no.
Job starting on Monday. I'm not showing up.
I can't vote. How am I supposed to work? Number 4, which was tied with Alabama, South Carolina. South Carolina is an unhealthy state, both at home and on the job. The state has the nation's 5th largest rate of occupational deaths, and it finishes in the top 10 for frequent physical and mental distress overall. The state's violent crime rate is also finishes in the top 10. Okay. Number 3, Louisiana.
Okay.
With just 76 licensed child care facilities in the state of 4.6 million, no state does worse than Louisiana in the increasingly important quality of life metric. Okay. Number 2, Oklahoma. Okay. Oklahoma is the second worst state to live in. Overall health in Oklahoma is not okay. So it's not okay in
You're
Oklahoma.
going to die.
Okay.
Drive into that state. Just death.
With one of the nation's highest rates of drug abuse, the second highest rate of people without health insurance. The Sooner State, the 1910 abortion ban remains among the strictest in the nation. And the number 1 shittiest place to live, Texas.
That's good news.
Texas. Oh, yes. How could 200,000 college-educated workers moving to Texas each year possibly be wrong? It depends on how you look at it. The nation's highest percentage of people without health insurance and the second lowest number of primary care physicians per capita. All those Texans are arriving to find a dismal healthcare system. Texas has the nation's 13th highest violent crime rate, and it ranks 30th among the licensed child care facilities per capita. I'm guessing, and I don't know this for sure. All these states, they're all red states, correct?
Weird.
Okay.
All red states.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's strange how that came out that way.
Yeah. The Lone Star keeps hacking away at inclusivity with laws targeting LGBTQ population, voting rights, and the nation's strictest abortion ban. Yes, there are enormous economic opportunities in Texas, and it is attracting people from far and wide. But this state also has some Texas-sized issues when it comes to life, healthcare, and inclusion. It is
still no talk about cost of living or any of that.
No.
Just
Everything has to do with the culture war. So
gotcha.
Okay, I can't believe New York wasn't in here. Like New York wasn't in here.
California, Oregon.
California is so big. I can see it. You live in Northern California. Yankton is basically its own state up there. I get that.
Yeah, it's a state of Jefferson.
But there are some pretty deep blue states that probably are suffering just as much economically, if not worse, than some of the red states. So, yeah. Okay. This is all written by CNBC.com.
For hard-hitting news when you need to know where to turn for information on where to live in the country.
Yeah.
CNBC.
At least Ohio wasn't on the list, so I'm
Yeah,
good.
what the hell?
Ohio wasn't there, so.
They got Ohio grassmen just jumping out and throwing hot dogs at you?
I'll take them.
As is my understanding.
That's what he does.
He's like, gotta do 60. Whips one at you, just runs off.
This thing's hurt.
Bounce it off your car windshield.
Throwing frozen hot dogs at people. It's a weapon.
Ow, son of a bitch. Damn you, grassman.
Man, yeah, throwing frozen hot dogs at people is no joke. Isn't it?
Soon after we arrived, we learned Hillary would have to give birth by cesarean section because the hot dogs was in breach, upside down in the womb, and that they could cut Hillary open from head to toe and I wouldn't get sick or faint. At 11:24 p.m., I held Hillary's hand and looked over the screen, blocking her view of the cutting and bleeding, to see the doctor lift our hot dogs out of her body. It was the happiest moment of my life. Our little hot dog was a healthy 6 pounds, 1 3/4 ounces. While Hillary was in the recovery room, I carried hot dogs out to Mother and anyone else who was available to see the world's most wonderful hot dogs.
There you go. How about that?
Bill Clinton's hot dog tail there.
Crusty old hot dogs.
Oh.
That's why he likes his hot dogs. It's all crusty.
I like them crusted. Dirty, roll them on the floor.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out. We'll be back on Saturday. A big Skinwalker Ranch episode.
Ooh.
I know. Gretchen's ready for that. Gretchen,
I am so excited.
He's all ramped up, he's all riled up and ready to go.
Riled up
I'm all riled up.
I'm partially plump already.
He's got his injections. You got your space injections.
Get my next Skinwalker injection. Put that right in my Skinwalker.
Thanks, everyone, hanging out. If you want to support the show, go to OBDMpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. There are links to the Patreon if you want to join. It's $1 a month, and it's a whole community in there. A bunch of friends. And literally, you can ask questions in there. You'll probably get an answer, whether it's work-related or not. People are like, Mike, what's the best way for me to install this program? How do I do this? And how do I do that? You can get help in there, not just from me, but from multitudes of people. It's happening, people. It's a place to get help.
I'm not sure we want to advise people get their tech support from the OBDM.
Yeah, maybe not. I can tell you how to install some programs here and there. Maybe how to do some Python, but not all tech support. Just limited amounts. All right. Thank you, Cratchit. Thank you, everyone. Shabлагoo.
Keep watching the skis for those Aardvark-shaped asteroids.
I'm upset by this. Put that on my tombstone.
Breaking news is happening. Serial defecator. You may have already surrendered your DNA by spitting in a tube.
That's about all.
Shabлагoo. Sit, Ubu, sit.
Good dog.
We're done!
No.
The show is over!
Let me get your
Get
supplies.
the fuck
Let me
out
get
of
the
here!
cleaning supplies.
I need to go to the bathroom.